All right, let's dive into what is just a phenomenal quarter for AMD. We're going to break down their Q3 2025 earnings, and believe me, this report signals a massive leap forward for the company, all thanks to a huge surge in AI.
So let's start with the number that has everyone talking, a whopping $9.2 billion in revenue for just the third quarter. This isn't just a little bump up. This is a major statement. And to put that number into some real perspective, that's a massive 36% jump in revenue from the exact same time last year. For a company of this size, that kind of growth is just incredible. It really shows how much momentum they're picking up. So here's how we're going to unpack this whole story. First, we'll hit the big financial picture. Then we'll dig into the AI engine that's really driving things. After that, we'll look at the strength in their other businesses. And finally, we'll get a little peek at what's coming next on their product roadmap.
Okay, first up, let's look at the financial highlights, because this story is about so much more than just that big top-line revenue number.
And you can see that right here. The growth was just comprehensive. It wasn't just revenue. Their net income soared by 31%, and earnings per share jumped right up there with it at 30%. This shows really strong and, more importantly, profitable growth. Now, this next one is so important to understand. Free cash flow. It's basically the cash the company has left over after paying all its bills. And theirs more than tripled to a record $1.5 billion. That is a huge sign of financial health and gives them so much firepower to invest in the future.
So where is all this incredible growth coming from? Well, let's get to the real heart of the story, the AI and data center business, which is just on fire right now. You can see it clear as day. The data center segment has turned into an absolute powerhouse, pulling in a record $4.3 billion. That's a 22% jump from last year, and it's now officially their single biggest business.
And this success really comes down to a powerful 1-2 punch. On one hand, you've got their EPYC processors. Think of them as the brains of the server, and they're selling like crazy. And on the other hand, you have their Instinct AI accelerators, which are the raw muscle for all things artificial intelligence.
But here's the thing, and this is so key to their strategy. It's not just about the hardware. You can have the fastest chips in the world, but if they're difficult to program for, nobody cares. That's where their software platform, ROCm, comes in. It's the key that unlocks all that power for developers. And if you need any proof that this whole strategy is working, look no further. A landmark deal with OpenAI. I mean, this is a total game changer. They're going to be a core provider for the biggest name in AI. In a market that has been dominated by one company for years, this deal is a monumental sign of change. It even has the potential to bring in over $100 billion in revenue. Just wow.
An AMD CEO, Dr. Lisa Su, she really says it all right here. This isn't just another big sale. It's a massive stamp of approval on their entire strategy, both hardware and software, from the most demanding AI company on the entire planet.
And it doesn't just stop with OpenAI. The momentum is real. You've got major cloud players like Oracle going all in too. They're the first to offer AMD's newest GPUs to the public and are already planning to deploy tens of thousands of the next generation of chips. This wave of adoption is going global. We're talking about national AI projects in the UAE, all the way to powering the US government's very first AI factory and its next-gen supercomputer. AMD is quickly becoming fundamental to some of the most important computing projects in the world. So, AI is obviously the huge headline here. But what's really impressive is that AMD is not a one-trick pony. The whole company is firing on all cylinders. Let's take a look at their other businesses. And I mean, just look at this. The client and gaming side of the house grew by a staggering 73%. That's driven by record sales of their Ryzen processors for PCs and, of course, the chips that power the big gaming consoles, which are flying off shelves ahead of the holidays. Now, their embedded business might seem smaller, but this is all about the future. The real story here is what they call design wins. They've already locked in over $14 billion of future business. That means AMD chips are going to be inside everything from advanced robots to critical healthcare devices for years and years to come. Okay, so the present looks absolutely incredible. But what about the future? Let's take a quick peek at the product roadmap that's going to drive this next wave of growth.
you should probably circle 2026 on your calendar because it's shaping up to be a truly pivotal year for them. They've got the new Lux AI factory coming online, their next-generation Venice CPUs, and most importantly, the new MI400 series of AI chips that partners like OpenAI and Oracle are already lining up for.
And here's another really smart strategic shift. They aren't just selling individual chips anymore. They're building the whole system. Think of it like this. Instead of just selling you an engine, they're selling you the entire ready-to-race car. For customers, this makes building massive AI systems much, much faster and easier.
So, with all of this going on, you'd expect them to be pretty confident, right? Well, they are. They're actually forecasting that revenue will grow again next quarter up to about $9.6 billion. This incredible trajectory just keeps going.
Which really leaves us with one powerful final thought. After a quarter like this, with huge AI wins, these massive partnerships, and a clear roadmap, the question isn't just can AMD compete anymore? The real question is, are we watching them completely reshape the entire landscape of high-performance computing for years to come?